Arizona: the pros and cons of moving there. Welcome to Common Sense Media. We are making a series of videos on each state and the pros and cons of moving there. Why it could be a good fit for you and your family or not. These videos are to help you make tough decisions on where to relocate to and to supply you with information on each state to help you make the right decision. Welcome to this video on living in Arizona, where we'll be exploring the various pros and cons of living in this state. Arizona is a state with a unique landscape, from its hot and dry deserts to its cooler high desert regions in the north. In this video, we'll dive into the various factors to consider before deciding whether or not to make Arizona your home. Climate. Arizona has a hot and dry desert climate, with more moderate high desert climate in the north. The state experiences about 4 tornadoes per year, which is relatively low compared to other states. While the climate may not be for everyone, the northern part of the state offers a more moderate climate with forested mountains, making it a good option for those seeking a cooler environment. Population demographics. Arizona has a moderately dense population of about 56 people per square mile, ranking 33rd in the nation. The state's population is diverse, with Hispanic, Native American, Black, Asian, and mixed-race populations. Hispanic residents make up the largest demographic group at 31%. It's important to note that certain areas in the state, such as Tucson and Apache County, have larger populations of minority groups. Cost of Living Index. Arizona's cost of living index is average, with a score of 98.8 compared to the national average of 100. While the cost of living may not be significantly higher than other states, it's worth noting that private land availability is poor, with 80% of land being state and federally owned. Building permits and land and urban planning. Building permits are required everywhere for new construction and significant remodels in Arizona. It's also important to note that basements are not very common but can be built in areas without caliche hardpan soil. The state does have a smart growth initiative, but so far, there are no statewide mandates. Food production and health environment. Arizona's food production is good but only with irrigation, as the state receives 22 inches of rain in the north and 8 inches of rain in the south annually. Sandy soil is prevalent, and the growing season is long at 280 days. Water quality is only fair in the state, with only 58% of people having fluoridated water. Air pollution is low except in the polluted metro area around Phoenix. Traffic and politics. Phoenix ranks 29 out of 75 for the worst traffic cities, while Tucson ranks at 60. Traffic is light elsewhere in the state. Politics in Arizona tend to be conservative, with Republicans making up 40% of voters and Democrats making up 34.6%. The state has relatively low taxes, ranking 34th best with an effective tax burden of 8.8% of income and 39th in property taxes. However, corruption is high in state government and metro police, but low in rural areas. Crime and personal liberty. Crime rates in Arizona are medium-high, with a violent crime rate of 417 per 100,000 people and a property crime rate of 3,400 per 100,000 people. The crime index for Phoenix is 10 out of 100, with 100 being the safest, while Mesa has a score of 18 and Chandler has a score of 30. It is important to consider crime rates when deciding on a place to live, as safety is a top priority for many people. Personal liberty in the state is ranked 11th best out of 50, while gun liberty is good, with no permit required to purchase firearms and open carry allowed, including in cars. Military targets and nuclear power plants. Arizona is home to several military targets, including Fort Huachuca, Libby Army Airfield, and the Navajo Army Depot. The state also has a nuclear power plant, the Palo Verde Nuclear Generating Station, which provides energy for the state. Retreat areas. While Arizona may have its challenges, it offers several retreat areas for those seeking a more rural lifestyle. The best retreat areas tend to be located north of the state's mountain ranges, as they are shielded from the arrival of most refugees in case of a crisis. Some of the best retreat areas in the state include the towns of Eber, Show Low, and Springerville, which offer a mix of farming communities and proximity to the mountains. It's important to note that while these areas may be more secluded, they may also lack access to good water supplies and agricultural resources. Strategies for populated living areas. For those living in more populated areas such as Phoenix or Tucson, it's important to have a plan in place in case of a crisis. It's recommended to stay in the northern suburbs of Phoenix outside the 100-200 seconds beltway to have first access to highway routes going north. In Tucson, it's best to pick areas in the northern part of the city such as Oro Valley or Catalina. Flagstaff is another option, but it's important to be above I-40 and on the north side of Highway 89 past Flagstaff proper. Living in Arizona has its pros and cons. The state offers a diverse landscape and climate, as well as relatively low taxes and good personal liberty. However, it's important to consider the state's poor private land availability, fair water quality, and medium-high crime rates. For those seeking a more rural lifestyle, the state offers several retreat areas, but they may lack access to good water supplies and agricultural resources. Ultimately, the decision to live in Arizona will depend on individual preferences and priorities. It is important to consider the military targets in Arizona. Fort Huachuca and Libby Army Airfield in Tucson are considered a primary target, along with MC Air Station Yuma, which is a Harrier and F-35 base and training center. Davis-Monthan AFB in Tucson is a primary target due to its A-10, C-130, and aircraft graveyard, while Air Force Plant No. 44, located southwest of Tucson, is a primary target due to its production of air-to-air missiles by Raytheon. It is important to consider these military targets when choosing a place to live, as they could potentially make a location more vulnerable in times of conflict. In summary, Arizona has its pros and cons as a place to live. On the positive side, the state offers a warm and dry climate, with many outdoor recreational opportunities, a relatively low tax burden, and a strong commitment to personal and gun liberties. The state also has a thriving alternative medicine community and low regulation for homeschooling. However, on the negative side, Arizona is plagued by issues such as poor water quality, limited private land availability, high corruption in state government and metro police, and a medium-high crime rate. Additionally, while the state is politically conservative, it is also grappling with issues of illegal immigration and potential social unrest in the future. Ultimately, the decision to live in Arizona should be carefully weighed with consideration of these factors. Thank you for watching this video on living in Arizona. Please help the channel out by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or would like to add information to help people in picking Arizona state to move to, please comment below. Thank you for watching.